Have you ever been called a loser? Well, as long as you avoid these players in your fantasy basketball drafts, well, maybe those sort of insults will slow down a little bit. Maybe. Unless you're just a loser. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and tomorrow's show I'll be joined by my new co-host, Kostas Antetokounmpo. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Thank you also for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free. And we are available on all platforms. This is the companion show to the show we did yesterday, the Must Drafts. This is Do Not Draft. Of course, we know what it means. It means that where these players are currently positioned, I'm not touching them. I'm just not going to do it. Now, for some of these positions and rounds, I could have named 4 players that were ranked in this area that I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not touching this guy in this area. But I've narrowed it down to 1 in each round of a base 12, a 12-man league. I don't know why I keep calling it a base 12. Who am I, a mathematician? When I'm looking at those rounds, I'm doing Yahoo categories, Yahoo points, ESPN categories, ESPN points, based on the current rankings as of the 14th of October. And I don't believe they'll make any adjustments. They might, but I don't think so. So we're going through each round. Now, I'm doing rounds 1 through 9, because once you get to 10, 11, 12, take flyers. It's hard to make a bad pick there. I mean, it's not hard. You can still do it. But the range of your selections is broadened because you're taking flyers on guys that you're probably going to drop anyway. So we're doing the first 9 rounds for that. So we might as well do it. Let's do it. Do not drafts. All right. This first one I think is going to be somewhat controversial because I know that I'm out on an island with this, but I don't think I want to draft Trae Young in round 1 for Yahoo category leagues. I have usually been the person that is higher on Trae Young through analysts, ADPs, ranks. I'm always like, I'm not that worried about his turnovers. I don't care. That's fine. You can have him. But this season, I seem to have sort of stayed in a similar area where he's like a second round player, and everyone's just gone, well, he's got to be a first round guy now. And I understand some of why people think that, but again, if there are a lot of people are basing things off their straight 9-cat ranks, there's no justification for that. He was 51st last season. There's a chance that he actually scores less on a team that's going to have Kristaps Porzingis and Jalen Johnson for a full season. And yeah, his assists will be high. He will lead the league in assists. And we've lost a lot of assist guys through injury with Lillard and most importantly Tyrese Halliburton in terms of the assists, or Kyrie, DeJounte, right? Meaning assists become a little bit more rare. But when assists become more rare, what it does, it doesn't quite do this, but it makes the assist category a little Dyson Daniels-y, where you see the value of his assists, and the same with Daniels' steal, in terms of where it gets standardized in Z scores, and it makes it feel like it's way more important than it is. I'm not saying it's not important, but the other thing is, if you don't want to get assists, you just don't have to. You can punt them, you can do whatever you want. So it doesn't mean that you have to jump up and grab Trey at pick 8. So I just don't like him there. He's ranked 10 on Yahoo at the moment. Everything about it, like I think he's going to be not good at rebounds. He's going to be bad at field goals. If you care about turnovers, they're going to be bad. He's not going to block shots, obviously. He'll get scoring, which might come down. He'll get assists, absolutely. He'll get free throws at large volume, which is very important. But I still don't think that I like him in the first round. Now, it's not going to kill you. If you take him in the first round, it's okay, right? It's not going to destroy your draft. It is absolutely not a league loser. I just don't like it there. I don't like Jim Harden at number 12. He's ranked 12 on Yahoo. For category leagues, love it. Love it. Points leagues, no. It is a very different story. And that is something we always need to be aware of. Where are we sitting? What are our values and what league are we in? Because Harden at 12 in a category league, let's go for it. Like, we love that. But I don't even know if he's a second round player in a Yahoo points league. He might be. I'm not sure that it is. Let me have a look at where he finished last season. He was 12th in points leagues last season. Yahoo points leagues. But remember, Kawhi Leonard didn't play half the season, and Beal is there, and Collins is there now. It doesn't take much to move from the 45 that he scored last season to 42, which takes you to 20th or whatever. It's just too early. On ESPN, well, I said Trae Young already, so I'll tell you Trae Young again. He's ranked 7th on their category league rankings. It's way too high. That is way too high. That one, I think, is pretty wrong. And then on ESPN points leagues, I do not like that they have ranked Domantas Sabonis up at number 9. That feels too high to me as well. Sabonis is a guy that, again, much like Trey, that I seem to be against in terms of the general consensus on him. Last season, Sabonis he did his thing, but it also is worth noting that once Zach LaVine arrived, we saw a reduction in performance from Domantas Sabonis, who was overall the 13th ranked player in ESPN points leagues last season. I think he loses a little bit off that with LaVine having the usage that he did, trying to work out what happens with Dennis Schroeder, with DeMar DeRozan. I actually don't think Keegan Murray being out helps, honestly, because when you lose a 15 usage player, that's below average. And if anyone comes in that's close to average usage in the lineup, that hurts. It doesn't help. I think sometimes we get this idea, well, if Murray's out, his shots just must go to the other players that are in the starting lineup. When not really, it's the guy that replaces him who then actually might take more. So I just don't want Sabonis at number 9. It is just it's too early for my tastes for ESPN points. Round 2, I'm much more comfortable. Again, Trae Young, if you want to take him in round 1, do it, right? 7 at ESPN's too high. If you think Sabonis is worth a first round pick, okay, I don't very clearly, but I think you can get away with it. I feel much more confident about telling you that I do not want to take Jalen Brunson in round 2 for Yahoo categories or Yahoo points. I don't think it makes really a lick of sense. I don't understand why we would do that. Remembering, we're sitting here with Brunson, with a new coach. It is not Tom Thibodeau. Now, Mike Brown still is a pretty high minutes guy, and Brunson will still get a lot of minutes, and you still have good usage, and you still do the things that he does, but the offense will be different. It won't be as slow and methodical and Brunson running everything, I'm guessing. And that just means he's not likely, to me, to be able to hit this number. He's at 19. Last season, he wasn't top 20 in points leagues. I don't believe he was top 20 in category leagues either. He lacks in a lot of different areas from a overall category perspective. And it's just a waste to me to take Brunson in round 2 for either categories or points leagues. On ESPN, you've seen me in certain builds take Myles Turner at the end of round 3 because I needed to get myself some shot blocking. And even that, I'm not sure I feel good about it. I probably wouldn't do it again, honestly. It could be okay. He's ranked 21, Myles Turner on ESPN's category league ranking, and there is just no way that I would be remotely sniffing that. That's just way too high. 4th round, sure. 21, craziness. And then, of course, you get to the big fella himself, Vooch. Now, we can have the arguments whether I was right or wrong on him last season. I was wrong, except when the fantasy playoffs came and then his value wasn't there. But overall, I was wrong. Pretty confident he's not going to be the 21st ranked player this season in ESPN points leagues. Feeling pretty good about that. I would hope, maybe I'm wrong, I would hope I'm not going to get a ton of pushback from people saying, nah, man, he's going to be that good. I'll take him in round 2. Because I just... How will that happen? Last season, which almost inarguably, it was Vooch's best ever season. He looks slower. He's not going to shoot that well. Last season, he was 35th in ESPN points leagues. 35th. You take him at 21, you are an actual loser. What are you doing? There's no justification for it. I don't get it. And I will refuse to get it. Vooch, I hate you again. We'll come back, talk about the other rounds. Today's episode, though, it is brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, 401ks and properties and investments. And if you don't have that full picture, you can end up leaving plenty of money on the table. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's the all-in-one personal finance tool, which helps track all of your financial life, bringing it together in one easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. It is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. It does the heavy lifting, linking all of your accounts, investments in minutes to see clear data visuals and get smart categorization of your spending and finally feel in control of your money. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONNBA. Today's episode is also brought to you by Game Time and the NBA season. We're a week away from it starting and nothing beats being there live to watch these games. The atmosphere of live sport is awesome. I think you all love it, right? A big moment and getting to see these games, your favorite teams, your favorite team winning, it's a great feeling. And that's where Game Time comes in, the app that gives you the advantage. It is the ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NBA tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. You got the zone deals where you can just choose an area. They find the best seats for you, the best pricing there. You can find some NBA tickets for under $25 on Game Time as well. So take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create the account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That is the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Okay. See if I can remember that one. Let's talk about more of these dudes that are do not draft players that will ruin your life, ruin your financial future. Shout out Monarch Money. Just don't do it. Just don't do these guys. Round 3. Franz Wagner sits at number 34 on Yahoo, and I sit in the very comfortable position of telling you that you shouldn't be drafting Franz Wagner at number 34. I don't see a rationale for it. Franz is a very good player, but a lot of the value last season came without Paolo there. A lot of what he's going to have to be dealing with this season is the arrival of Desmond Bane. The shot is still wonky. I don't know what's going to happen. I think it can still go back up, but I'm just not investing pick 34 in Franz Wagner. And this is, for Yahoo points, one of the things that does become a problem is that in their blended rankings, we're looking at Trey Murphy at number 35, which I could understand an argument for Trey in a category league at 35. I wouldn't take him there. Like, let's be very clear. I wouldn't do that. But in a category league, I get why you could do that. Last season, Trey Murphy for Yahoo points was 52nd. And that was with Zion playing 30 games and Ingram playing 18. Now we're going to have Jordan Poole. You should have more of Zion. Herb Jones is there. Not that he's a usage player, but I'm not taking Trey at 35. His game is not a points league game, really. It is, again, worth remembering that I believe that the way that Yahoo rejigged their board, even though it's allegedly a blend, they moved from 70% of the rankings being points league based to now being 70% category. Be aware of that. On ESPN, I just talked about Desmond Bane impacting Franz Wagner. Well, Desmond Bane is going to be impacted by Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero, so taking him at 32 on ESPN makes no sense. I have no idea why that would be a decision that you would like to make. Has Bane ever been that good before? Like, ever been that high on a situation where he's not the third option? He's a solid player. He'll have solid percentages. He'll get you 4 assists or whatever he does, and he'll score his 20 points or 17 points or something. But it's not worth a pick in the middle of round 3. He was the number 1 offensive option for plenty of games last season. He will be the number 3 offensive option majority of the time in Orlando. And that's not worth that at that spot. And then, of course, for reasons that, I don't know, only we can ask our maker when the time is up, DeMar DeRozan is sitting at number 33. Why, you ask? I don't know. He was 61st last season. Take that one, draft him there, write your league off, make the pick at 33 of DeMar DeRozan, leave a little message in the chat, go, all right, boys, I'm done. Have a good season. I'll see you guys for football season. Because that's it. It's over. Don't do it. Should we talk about round 4? We probably should, because now we can talk about Ivica Zubac on Yahoo. I loved getting Zubac. I wasn't as aggressive as I needed to be in drafting Zubac last season, but I still drafted him in lots of spots, and it was pretty obvious. He was going to play more minutes. He was ranked in like the hundreds. Easy, done. And he was great. And now the reaction is that he's at 45. And I don't see how that's going to happen. If you believe that Brook Lopez plays 15 minutes a night, then Zubac is totally okay at 45. But what if Zubac, after Ty Lue said, yeah, he played too much, we're going to pull him back down. What if Zubac plays 27 minutes? He's like a guy in the 70s, 60s. Not in round 4. Interestingly, the Clippers aren't starting John Collins in the preseason game today. They're starting Derek Jones Jr. Just keep an eye on that, because a lot of people are going high on John Collins this season. And that's another thing. If Collins comes off the bench, like, does he play any small ball 5 at all? And they're going small in that starting group? Yeah. Anyway, Des Baines at 43 on Yahoo, which for category leagues I still don't really like. But for points leagues, I'm definitely not there for it. Like, things can change. We know this at any point. Powell, knock on wood, could get hurt. Opening night, out for the season. We don't want that to happen, clearly. But Bain last season, with whatever Ja Morant was doing, was the 46th ranked player in Yahoo points leagues. I don't know why he would be better. And then on ESPN, for categories and for points, they have just refused to make adjustments to Josh Hart. Both category and points league rankings have him at number 41. I cannot, in any level of good conscience, suggest that that is a move that makes sense. I can't. Last season, to be fair, Josh Hart was the 40th ranked player in ESPN points. 40th. He played 38 minutes a night. I am very certain he won't do that. I am very certain he will not even produce. Like, he may not even shoot 53% from the field again. Will he rebound well? Will he get assists? Probably, yeah. But it's not worth that pick. I don't think he's going to start. And he's currently injured. Just a disaster pick if you're picking Josh Hart in round 4. It is a horrid pick. I cannot for the life of me rationalize why we would do that. We're in round 5 now. I want to talk about Yahoo and category leagues first. And you know that I am down on most of the Sacramento players this season. I will inevitably be wrong on one of them, I think. I don't believe that all of them can hit their marks. One of them might hit it, and the others might be way off. But I don't believe that they can all hit where they are projected to be. So that's Levine, it's Sabonis, and it's DeRozan. And it was Monk, but he's been pushed back. DeMar in round 5 with a ranking of 55, I can't wrap my head around why that would be something we're interested in. Now, he is a good percentages player. His free throws became a little inconsistent last season. He started to hit some threes and it impacted his field goals. But he is old. At some point, you are going to see like just a 2% erosion in one of those stats. Where do his assists rise now or sit now that you've got a full season Levine, but also Dennis Schroeder there? Is he ever going to do anything defensively? Probably not. In the 70s, go for it. In round 5, no. And then that takes me on to Lauri Markkanen. Markkanen is ranked at 57, which I actually don't like for categories either. Not only was Lauri Markkanen out for massive chunks of last season, but he was bad when he played. So why are we... Now, Markkanen was like... I went back and checked my Do Not Draft show from last season. Markkanen was in the 30s, and I was like, do not do this. This is insane. And now where he sits, it's equally as insane. He was. Strap in, guys. 106th in per-game Yahoo points last season. 106th. He played 31 minutes a night. Cool. Do you think he's going to do more than that this season? He could. He might play more than 31 minutes. But they're also going to be bad. He's not going to be playing super hard all season. This is another tank season. I'm very certain of it. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. I said 106, my bad. He was 95th in Yahoo points. I don't know what I'm talking about there. I don't know why I said that. That's ESPN points. My bad. He was 95th. Doesn't really change anything, does it? It's just an insane pick at 57 to be going there. I also, for the life of me, cannot understand why you would be looking at Andrew Wiggins on ESPN at number 59. Sorry? I like getting Wiggins around 100. I think he's relatively stable there. I think he's relatively secure, even though his preseason has been pretty bad, honestly. But like, what are we doing? Why would we look at Andrew Wiggins at 59? We won't, and we shouldn't. It'd be terrible. And then for points leagues, they have at number 52 Mikal Bridges. Now, I know that Mikal Bridges has never missed a game. That is true. That is a verifiable fact. It is not a fact that he will not miss a game this season. He might not, but it's not a fact. And when your overriding decision makes you jump a guy 40 spots because you think he won't get hurt, it's a bad pick. He was, per game, last season, Mr. Bridges. ESPN points, 85th. I don't know. Is he going to play the same minutes he did? Probably not. Could he be better in the minutes that he plays? Maybe. But it's a big leap, man, to get it that high. And I'm just not athletic enough to make a jump that big. Let's take a look at the rest of the round 6 through 9 in a sec. But today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. The NFL season is here, but the NBA season is just coming up around the corner. And FanDuel has an offer that you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right, you pick a bet, you put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. You can use it. Same game parlays, player props, spreads, totals, straight up betting. It's all there. You can do it on futures and win totals. And yes, I'm going to be having my season win total show coming up. I don't know when. Weekend maybe. I want to get a lot of this fantasy stuff out of the way first. But we have that plus award prediction show. That'll be coming up, and you can do all that over on FanDuel as well with your bonus bets. So what are you waiting for? Go to FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. And don't forget to gamble responsibly. Welcome back to the show. Not that you went anywhere, but we're back anyway. We're talking do not draft losers. We're talking about guys that you don't want to pick at these spots. Otherwise, it's going to be embarrassing for you and for me, honestly, by proxy. Let's go to Yahoo. We're in round 6. Andrew Nembhard has come up a lot. He's up to 69. Now, normally I wouldn't begrudge someone for being up to a 69. That's your own choice. But maybe Andrew didn't choose this one because I don't think that you'd want to pick him at 69. Andrew Nembhard, in the past, when replacing Tyrese Haliburton, has not been good. Playoffs, some good moments. There is a difference. I will say this. There is a difference. Him spot starting for Haliburton versus knowing that he is the starting point guard. Different preparation. I think he's going to be quite a good assist player. I think he's going to be pretty good at that. But I worry about shooting. I worry about if they're making him, and given the fact that Benedict Matherin's going to be playing next to him, if Nembhard is going to be doing a ton of their on-ball defense stuff, that is going to wear him out. That is going to probably negatively impact his shooting numbers and maybe even his minutes. And while I've got no problem with grabbing Nembhard, he should be drafted, obviously. 69 in round 6, it's too high. He has not proven an ability to do this. His per minute and per game numbers have not shown an ability to scale to this. And while he may do it, I'm not going to rule it out that he can get to this number. My projections have him nowhere near this. Not even close. And of course, they're just projections. I've got him at over 7 assists a game. But is he actually going to be a high usage guy? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be particularly high usage at all, honestly. And that spot is just too high. I like Jordan Poole because I think at times the narratives around him are not fake, but they're incorrect. I don't like him at pick 67. In a category league, if you want to take him at 67, I get it. He does go to New Orleans, and at some point, I'm guessing DeJounte Murray will return, and they'll give minutes to Jeremiah Fears, and it'll be a little bit weird as to where he plays. And his minutes might come down. It is worth noting that he only played 29 minutes a game last season. But in those 29 minutes a game, where he had 30% usage in Washington, he was 77th in points leagues. He's 67th now. So we're expecting him to, I guess, play more minutes, sure. But also remember, he might play 32, and then when you get to your fantasy playoffs, he's playing 27. But I find it hard to believe with Murphy and Zion there, and the return of DeJounte Murray eventually, that he'll maintain 30% usage. I see really no way that Jordan Poole is going to be delivering. He might be close enough to that for the first 3 months. He might be. But when you're talking about overall success in fantasy and success throughout the season in terms of when you're having that success over the course of the year and trying to get yourself into the playoffs and win, Poole's value is probably going to drop as the season goes on. Let's go to ESPN for round 6 and let's just check in on where they've got Anfernee Simons. Yeah, too high. Why would we want to look at Anfernee Simons at 69? What would be the reason for that? I believe Simons will be coming off the bench in Boston. Okay, that you can debate that. That's okay. I don't think that that's a crazy decision, but was he even worth 69 in Portland? Not really. He's going to have Jalen Brown and Derek White and Peyton Pritchard all there. He could get traded to another team. He could be a 29-minute sixth-man bench player. Again, take him at 100. Cool. Not in round 6. And then for ESPN points, Christian Braun has just been thrown through the roof for some reason. Why is Christian Braun at number 65? Christian Braun was good last season. His shooting was unbelievable. He was the 106th ranked player. What on earth is he doing more? What is happening to Christian Braun to push him 40 spots higher? I ask you that question. He played 32 minutes a game last season. Or did he? No, sorry, that was me projecting what he's going to do this season. How? How are we getting to this level? How is he jumping not only inside the top 90, but inside the top 70? I don't know the answer to it. Maybe you do. I don't know. Round 7. Let's just call this the Norman Powell round, because I don't like Norman Powell in round 7, yet this is where he's going everywhere. On ESPN or Yahoo categories, Powell is number 81. Powell is going to score pretty well in Miami. It's going to be bumped early with Tyler Hero out. Now, there was that weird thing that Dominique Wilkins said yesterday on the broadcast that I was talking to Heat people and they think Tyler Hero will be ready for opening night. I'm so sorry, what? Our expectation is like Thanksgiving. So, no Heat reporter has seemed to back this up or say anything about it, but that was weird. Honestly, if Tyler Hero is available opening night, he goes back to a top 50 player, but that's separate to the point. Norman Powell last season started off really strong, faded a lot when other good players were around him. He ended up 90th in category leagues, 90th in points leagues. 81, I don't know, man. I don't get it. He's a scorer who doesn't do anything else. If he has even remotely an off efficiency year, and he shot 42% last season from 3, which is great, and he consistently is efficient. But if he's remotely off with his efficiency, he doesn't do anything else. And when Hero comes back, he's just not going to maintain the same level of usage. I don't see how that is going to be possible. So he's also ranked at 80 on ESPN points, Norman Powell. And he also sits at 78 for, ESPN categories is at 80. And for ESPN points, he's at 78. Last season on ESPN points, 90th. Sorry, no, that was Yahoo points. I got my screens wrong on the back end here. ESPN points, he was 84th. Okay, it's just, I don't believe he is maintaining that level of production. I don't see it. Christian Braun. I'm seeing Christian Braun in my category leagues go in the hundreds. He's ranked 80th on Yahoo. And once more, if you are on Yahoo and you are drafting him, remember that there is a blend of rankings. But you got to be aware of that because Christian Braun was not worth the top 100 pick last season. In points leagues, he wasn't that guy. So why would we do it at 80? It is a silly move to go to. We are now going to look at round 8, and if that one was the Norman Powell round, this is the Devin Vassell round. It might be possible for Vassell to be useful while De'Aaron Fox is out early in the season. He's ranked at 91 on Yahoo, and I don't like it for categories or for points. But they're going to have Castle and Fox and Harper. And then there's Champagny, there's Barnes, there's Sohan, there's Wemby. There's the Wemby-Cornet combination. I like Vassell a lot. I wish they would prioritize him more, but they won't. I don't think that they will at all. This is like, again, while Fox is out, maybe he's here. But Fox is not out the season. He's out like 2 weeks. No, don't do this. ESPN's got an infatuation with D'Angelo Russell. He sits at number 85 on their category league rankings. And I'll tell you this right now. I think that it is not crazy to think that D'Angelo Russell will not even start while Kyrie is out. We saw it last game. Now, Russell wasn't healthy in that game, but Cooper Flagg started at point guard. And what that should give you an idea of is that here's a decision. Jason Kidd, for all of his foibles as a bloke and as a coach, he's very happy to just throw lineups out there and go, whatever, let's see it. Let's put you in uncomfortable spots and grow. He does it all the time. And I think when you're looking at lineups for the Mavs, you've got to look at who do you think that Jason Kidd thinks is a better player? D'Angelo Russell or PJ Washington? Because if he thinks that PJ Washington's a better player, then PJ Washington will play more minutes than D'Angelo. And Flagg will shift down to point guard. And if D'Lo's playing 25 minutes a night, we are not doing it in round 8. We're not. If he's a 30-minute a night player, I'm not even sure I'd do it then. Plus, what if Kyrie's back in February? And then you got a backup who's the 200th best player. What a waste of a round 8 pick. They've also got Jaden McDaniels for, again, reasons that would escape even the most brainy scholar. Jaden McDaniels sits at number 87 for ESPN points leagues. Jaden McDaniels was 110th per game last season. I don't get it. I can't explain it. I'm not trying to explain it. It just is not one that you want to do. Jaden McDaniels at number 87. No, thank you. Let's take a look at the last round that we're going to cover in the Do Not Drafts here. And I'll explain these. Because I'm not going to be super aggressive on this because it is round 9. Like round 10 is more of the zone where it's like I don't care as much. But yeah, Jaden Ivey at 103. A Yahoo for category leagues. I don't like it there. I like taking Jaden Ivey in round 11. I don't mind him in round 10. He's coming back off the fractured leg. He's going to start. But historically, he has not been a super strong category league player. He was 114th last season in 30 minutes. He averaged 17, 4, and 4. He shot the ball really well, which I don't know that I believe. The free throws were bad. I'm a little concerned. 103 is early. It's aggressive. It's not disastrous, but I don't like it. Same as with Yahoo points and Reed Shepherd at 108. I'm actually okay with getting Reed at 195 in a category league. I think Reed Shepherd's got a lot of category league value because he's a very random steals and blocks guy as a point guard. Threes, assists, I think he's going to start. But at 108, he doesn't really feel the thing that you need in a points league. Usage. He's not going to be a usage guy. So it doesn't make sense there. Again, Yahoo ranks are blended. So 108 for Reed Shepherd in category leagues, you snap it up. I like that. Points leagues, I do not. And then we get to the Dallas Mavericks infatuation on ESPN. Why is Klay Thompson at 107? In this round on ESPN, there were a ton of people that I could have grabbed and said, yeah, don't do this. Don't do this. Absolutely do not consider him at this point in this round. Like, for example, Buddy Hield sits in this round on ESPN. Absolutely no way. Chris Paul is in this round on ESPN. What are we doing? Klay Thompson is the one that I went for. He's at 107. Why would we do this? I am not sure that Klay Thompson's a top 200 player this season. Honestly, what is he going to do that's good enough to justify not only drafting him, but having him as your 9th best player? Not even your worst starter. No way. Now, to be fair to ESPN, for some reason they've got Emmanuel Quickley in this round as well, below Klay Thompson. So yeah, I'd snap him up in that area, but I don't like Keontae George in this range. It doesn't really make sense. They've also got Matas Buzelis in this round. Why? I don't know. He should be 3 rounds higher. This is a confusing round. There are huge landmines to avoid, but there's also some hey, if Quickley and Buzelis are there, we're in. Shaden Sharp in this round. I like that. Klay Thompson, no way. And then we get back to, again, D'Angelo Russell. Why? What is with this Mavericks thing? Russell's at 97 on ESPN points. 97. Not as bad as where he's in category leagues, but last season he was 126th. And yeah, he should be better. He should shoot better than he did last season, but also maybe not. And what if he is literally a 20-minute-a-night player in your fantasy playoffs? Also, while not being a 30-minute-a-night guy early on, he might be a 30-minute-a-night guy. I don't know. But they can be comfortable in throwing lineups with Cooper Flag at the 1, which means D'Lo's not. So he's just not one that I'm going for. I do not get it. But what I do get is that is the end of the show. Got industry pickup draft starting today. I will post my results for that. It's a slow draft, so I can't broadcast it live. I moved into the snake draft from the auction draft. Someone else wanted to go in the auction, so I just switched around, moving myself into different leagues there. I've got, I think I've got a real fast draft on Yahoo later this week that I might record. It's got to depend on when the schedule is. I might be actually out of the house and do it on my phone, so I'll see where we go. But I've got that coming up, plus all the other mock drafts, 240 game shows coming up, injury reports, and then we head into week 1 next week. You know what to do here if you are watching on the YouTube mobile app. Swipe the comments across, hit the hype, but leave those comments. Subscribe either way on any format. Comment, double bang. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. You're not losers. I love you. See ya.